Hey everyone, and welcome to this explainer. I am absolutely thrilled to be guiding you through today's strategy session. Because look, we are right in the middle of a massive, seismic shift across academia and industry alike. We're going to be talking about how artificial intelligence is fundamentally reshaping what it actually means to be a researcher today. And to be clear, we aren't just talking about, rolling out some new software update. We are talking about calibrating a completely new professional identity. It's this huge shift from just executing manual tasks to becoming an architect of inquiry. So, if you've been feeling the ground shifting beneath your feet lately, and you really want to master how to calibrate your AI judgment skills as the industry evolves, well, you are in the exact right place. Let's dive in, team.
Okay, so here's our roadmap for today. We're going to start by defining this evolving identity, and then move right into the tangible new skills and roles that are emerging as we speak. After that, we'll look at how institutions can proactively support this change, highlight some really common mistakes we need to avoid, and finally bring it all back to you, focusing on how you can navigate your very own professional evolution.
All right, Section 1, the evolving researcher identity.
Okay, let's just address the elephant in the room right off the bat. The anxiety surrounding how our identity as researchers is changing. Look, change is always intimidating, right? Especially when it touches on expertise that we've spent literally decades building up. But honestly, once we understand the direction of this change, it becomes incredibly empowering. I want to ground our discussion today in a core consulting philosophy I use with my own teams, which comes straight from our source material. Quote, "Being a researcher used to be like being a specialist craftsman. Now it's more like being a conductor. Think of it like being a solo violinist who suddenly gets handed a baton and told, hey, go lead the whole orchestra. It is daunting, absolutely, but it's also completely thrilling once you realize the scale of what you can create."
Now, what's really interesting about this transition is that for most of the last century, a researcher was exactly that specialist craftsperson. You picked a narrow domain, you went incredibly deep, and your authority came from this kind of solitary, localized perfection. Hey, that is still super valuable, but it's just no longer the only way. As a conductor, you might not play every single instrument flawlessly yourself, but you deeply understand how those instruments and your AI tools work together. You're collaborating across disciplines to build something that just wouldn't be possible with one single instrument alone. Moving on to Section 2, new skills and roles.
So, if we're moving from craftsperson to conductor, how does that actually look in our day-to-day lives? Let's get into the practical side of this. We used to pride ourselves primarily on being the ultimate problem solvers. But here's the reality of the situation. Once a problem is clearly specified today, an AI can synthesize the data for it so much faster than a human ever could. But, and this is a massive but, if you just treat AI as a blind problem solver, you are going to get burned. I mean, we've all seen the horror stories, right? AI fabricating statistics out of thin air or generating completely fake academic citations. It happens all the time. That's exactly why your true, irreplaceable value shifts to being a question asker and, frankly, the ultimate auditor. What problems actually matter? What baseline assumption should we be challenging here? Your value isn't just in finding the answer anymore, it's in charting the entire course of the inquiry.
Furthermore, we're shifting from being hands-on executors to system designers. Historically, you'd be the one personally executing the experiments, analyzing the data row by agonizing row, writing all the code. Now, you design the system, you oversee its execution by AI, and you interpret the outputs. As a system designer, your main job is essentially risk management. You're constantly calibrating your judgment, deciding when it's safe to trust the AI's analysis and when you absolutely need to manually verify it. Because the heavy execution is handled for you, you get to act as the architect. You can focus entirely on interpreting those broader, more complex patterns and building real theory.
Now let me reassure you right now, your hard-earned expertise, it is not obsolete, not even close. So what stays? Your core domain expertise, your critical thinking, your intellectual honesty, and your rigor. AI does not replace your domain expertise. Actually, it completely depends on it. You literally cannot ask good questions or catch those sneaky AI hallucinations without that solid foundation. But what is new is the absolute need for AI literacy, system thinking, and transdisciplinary integration. You don't need to go out and become a machine learning engineer tomorrow, but you do need enough technical fluency to know what's possible and, crucially, what the limitations are.
All right, Section 3, building institutional support.
Now, this evolution isn't just up to individuals navigating around in the dark. I always tell my coaching clients to look at how the top research universities are handling this transition from the top down. One major research university we looked at actually decided to completely rewrite their definition of research excellence to match this new era. It now explicitly values asking meaningful questions, integrating diverse expertise, and operating ethically. Guys, this is a massive shift. It tells their researchers loud and clear that the institution values meaning over sheer publication volume.
When an institution redefines excellence this clearly, it gives everyone the strategic permission they need to change how they work.
And this brilliantly illustrates a blueprint from a medical research center. They didn't just tell their staff, hey, go figure out AI. No, they implemented tiered AI literacy training, set up peer-to-peer mentoring, and most importantly, they created a judgment-free experimentation space. In these safe spaces, we actually coach teams to use a very simple risk capability checklist when they're testing tools. It goes like this. 1. What is the impact of an error here? 2. Is the AI genuinely capable of complex reasoning for the specific task, or is it just doing basic pattern matching? And 3. Do we have a solid human-in-the-loop validation step? Researchers desperately need a space to play with these tools and practice answering those exact questions without the immediate pressure of a performance review hanging over them.
Let's be real, culture change takes time. You cannot expect an overnight transformation here. When I'm consulting, I always recommend a multi-year blueprint. Year 1 is all about launching foundational training, right? Just getting people comfortable. Year 2 is where you expand and deepen that integration, facilitating much more complex collaborations. And it's really not until year 3 that these new norms and those formally recognized hybrid career pathways are fully, solidly established.
Section 4. Avoiding common transition mistakes. Any major transition is going to come with growing pains. It's unavoidable. And without deliberate guidance, institutions and individuals almost always fall into some very predictable traps. In my experience coaching organizations through this, there are exactly 5 major misconceptions that create so much unnecessary resistance and really derail progress. Let's quickly run through them.
Number 1 is framing AI as a replacement rather than an augmentation. Big mistake. Number 2 is expecting immediate transformation instead of respecting that multi-year learning curve we just talked about. 3 is disconnecting this new identity from the core values of rigor and integrity, the things that attracted us to this field in the first place. 4 is ignoring generational differences. Your early career researchers might just jump right in, while senior researchers might be understandably pretty skeptical of abandoning methods that have worked for decades. I actually had one client who literally hugged their physical filing cabinet when we introduced the new digital systems. It's a real reaction. And finally, number 5 is underestimating the training requirements. You can't just assume brilliant people will figure it out independently. They need structured support.
So the crucial point here is that as professionals, the narrative you choose will absolutely dictate your success. Framing matters enormously. If the message around the office is AI is replacing researchers, you are guaranteed to get fear and resistance. But if the strategic narrative is AI is expanding what researchers can do, suddenly you open the door to curiosity, to agency, and to some truly collaborative excellence. Which brings us to our final section, Section 5, Navigating Your Own Evolution.
How do you actually take agency in navigating your own evolution? Well, remember this. Evolution doesn't mean abandonment. You are not just throwing away your past experience. For those of you actively calibrating your career paths right now, remember that your human judgment is the most valuable asset you have, period. Your traditional rigor, your deep domain knowledge, your ability to spot a hallucinated fake citation from a mile away, those are still your absolute foundation. But on top of that rock-solid foundation, we get to build incredible new hybrid career paths. We're going to see a massive rise in researcher engineers, researcher communicators, and researcher entrepreneurs. You can be incredibly innovative and highly rigorous at the exact same time. So I want to leave you with one final thought to reflect on today. As you continue to calibrate your own AI judgment moving forward, ask yourself this. What is one new aspect? Maybe it's a new AI tool, a new cross-disciplinary collaboration, or a new way of auditing outputs that you genuinely want to explore. And, equally important, what traditional aspect of your craft do you fiercely want to preserve? Remember, you are the architect of your own inquiry. Embrace these new tools, stay completely grounded in your expertise, and step confidently into the future of research. Thank you so much for joining me on this Explainer Today team, and I will see you next time.